Welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, where two best friends, separated by geography but united in their love for musical theater, review and recap movie musicals. Each episode we will dissect a new movie musical, ranging from the 1930s all the way up to today, all the while giggling, snorting, and generally being absolute dunces. So powder those noses and tape down those boobs. We're about to start rolling.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Maria.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My mouth.
Of the music of the
Hello! We were just saying we recorded a bunch of episodes back to back because Grace had to move and needed her weekends. So we had 3 whole weeks off, and this was the movie we came back to. And oh boy!
See, I was excited because it's our first Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movie, and
I
classic.
loved this movie.
I did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but I would give it high. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
I hated his behavior throughout most of this movie.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I think maybe I couldn't get past the plot to appreciate the talent, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I got very angry at many points at his behavior.
Well, without further ado, welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast. We are your chaotic co-hosts. I am Anna.
I am Grace.
And this week's episode is 1934, The Gay Divorcee. It is available for free on HBO Max. It is also available for rent on YouTube, Apple TV, or Amazon Prime.
Indeed. And as
starring
we were saying,
Fred Astaire and Ginger
Fred
Rogers.
Astaire and Ginger Rogers. One of the most classic dance duos of all time.
Phenomenal.
And you can tell. Their chemistry was great, and their dancing partnership was amazing.
Oh, the dancing in this movie.
So good.
All right, without further ado, we are in black and white, and we open on a weird montage of just general places in Paris,
Like
over some
Moulin
fast
Rouge
jazz.
and some French nightclubs.
Yeah, in case you
and,
couldn't catch our drift, this is Paris.
Yeah, we are back in 1930s Paris once again.
Oh God, I didn't even think of that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So we start with a shot of a bunch, so along with this montage of all these different nightclubs, we get a montage of close-ups of different 1930s girls' faces, just sort of bopping around.
Yeah, weirdly zoomed.
We start with this girl singing in a thick French accent, just in case that Moulin Rouge shot was not enough for you. We are in France.
And we get this human turntable. It's like a helter-skelter, essentially. Like the
Kinda.
merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Of like a dinner lounge review kind of thing of all these girls singing, but they have like little hand puppets on their hands and that are just like little ballerinas, and the fingers are dancing, and that's the thing. And they're all singing a song. It's wild. We see at a table the characters of Guy, played by Fred Astaire, and the character of Egbert Fitzgerald. I don't remember this actor's name.
I don't know either. I did not look it up. I didn't find it to be important.
And they're enjoying the music, and we learn that Guy is a famous dancer. Guy is American. Egbert is British.
Yes.
They are traveling through Paris. They're leaving later that night to go back to England. And the bill comes, and oh no, both of them don't have their wallets because they left them in their other suits.
Truly, another moment of not paying French waiters the money.
Justice for French waiters.
Justice for French waiters.
And they explain this to the waiter, who gets the manager, who gets the proprietor.
Yeah.
And Guy is like, we're good for it. We could always mail you our bill. And the proprietor's like, what?
I don't
know
you.
I don't know you. And we learn that Egbert's father is a famous lawyer, and Egbert is also a lawyer, but will never live up to his father's shadow. Egbert's just
everyone just makes fun of Egbert all the time.
I mean, Egbert deserves it.
Most of the time, yes.
Would you say that Egbert is a goon? Is he the goon of this, or is Tanetti the goon?
I think Tanetti is more goonish.
Okay. Egbert's just bumbling.
You know who Egbert looks like? I figured this out halfway through and I had a conniption. He looks like the butler from the Aristocats.
Yeah, alright, I see that. But they have no means of identification. Like, they don't have their wallets, they don't have their IDs.
Yep.
They propose that, like, Guy could dance by means of...
So,
like,
the proprietor has heard of
Sing for your
Guy
supper.
Holden as, like, the famous American dancer, and that's great, but he was like, oh, do you have ID to prove this? And he's like, no, my ID's in my wallet, and so he's like, then no. So Egbert is like, Guy, go dance to prove yourself. And he's like, absolutely not. I am on vacation, which I fully appreciate. And then we get some, like, French waiter mumbling in the background. And so Guy gets up and does, like, a little quick tap bit. And the guy is like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. It's like, well, you do it then. I did giggle. There were a couple of lines that made me laugh.
But so, they make Guy do a bigger dance to prove it. The proprietor, like, snaps his fingers so that Guy has jazz to dance to. And it's Fred Astaire.
Yeah, remarkable.
Destroys this dance floor.
Yeah.
And he keeps, like, trying to stop, but, like, keeps being forced to continue. And he's just so talented. And the proprietor is so impressed that he rips their bill in half, and just then Egbert finds his wallet. Ho 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 ho, so silly.
Fool.
Cut
to a ship?
The sea.
The sea.
The sea. The entire ocean. It's like a big ocean liner montage, lots of, like, waves and steering wheels.
Yeah, I think it's just them coming back from France to the UK.
They go from Paris to London via ship.
Yeah.
And we next see them in, like, the...
Customs?
I don't know what to call this space, because it's like customs, or, like, it's not the dock. It's indoors.
You have to declare everything, just like you do now whenever you travel. You have to declare if you bought things above a certain value. And so I think this is just, like, the customs place for this ship.
Yeah. Guy and Egbert are in this customs area, and, like, there's luggage everywhere, and a porter keeps calling out, like, Mr. Fitzgerald! Mr. Fitzgerald! And Egbert accepts it. It's a telegram from his father telling Egbert that he is going to Scotland to take care of the office, being his father's office, but also don't do anything. Like, don't
just
touch anything.
Sit there. Sit down.
Simultaneously, we get, an American older woman giving the porters a hard time. Her name is Hortense.
And I am worried that this is who I'm going to turn into. Like, my deepest fear is that I turn
Grace,
into
you would
Hortense.
never be this annoying. You would never be this annoying. Like, she is the, like, comedic relief, if you want to call her that. Like, she was my least favorite part of this movie.
Oh, see, some of her lines really made me laugh.
Oh, no, I did not find her funny at all. I found her annoying as hell.
That's so funny.
Like, a recurring bit is that, like, this woman has, like, the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah,
and, like,
no memory
causes a lot of the hijinks of this movie because this woman just, like...
can't remember
like
anything.
A gnat.
It's ridiculous.
But anyway.
So the customs agents are basically trying to figure out how much she bought while she was in Paris, and she's being completely obstinate and not helping. And they're asking, it's like, oh, where did you get this dress? And she's like, oh, somewhere in France. And they're like, Paris? And she's like, oh, no, that's not it. And they keep naming all of these other places. And eventually they get to Nice. And she's like, oh, yes, I'm waiting for my niece. She's going to meet me here. Enter Ginger Rogers.
Really quick gripe, one of the towns they suggest that maybe she went to
I got so mad.
is Lyon. But they say lions.
And having lived in Lyon, I was just like, how dare you?
I was like, how dare you? Because it wasn't like, it's never called back. There's never any justice for the people of Lyon. It's just like horribly mispronounced in this one bit. But yes, Hortense is here waiting in customs for her niece, Mimi, who is played by Ginger Rogers.
Yes. She has a great smile.
Yeah, Ginger Rogers is like absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And Hortense has come to London to help Mimi, quote unquote, straighten out her mixed up life.
Hortense's luggage is sort of open and all over the place, so Mimi goes to close up everything and sort of help her get everything together, and while that's happening, through like the crack of one of the luggages, Hortense accidentally closes up Mimi's dress within the luggage, and then she walks away to go to the inspector's customs office, and is like, oh, just finish up and come in.
This is the 30s, this was like an ankle-length dress, and this is important. Quite very quickly, Mimi realizes that she is now stuck to this trunk. She tries to pull her dress, she can't get it.
It keeps riding over her knees. Scandalous.
Yes, scandalous. And she just calls out, like, Porter! No, she's not English. Porter! Porter!
Over and
and
over
there's
again.
There's no one there to help her, but...
There was the one guy, there was the one porter who
Oh,
walked
yeah.
by, he's like, sorry, I'm busy, and just kept walking.
I got shit to do, lady. Guy walks by and, like, is immediately just, like, heart eyes,
Agog,
and he
yeah.
offers assistance, and she tries to get him to go get her aunt, but he's just like, let's small talk instead.
Instead of doing the thing that would help this woman, that might make her like me, let me instead harass her.
Yeah, and she tells him that, like, her dress is stuck, and he's like, oh, let me, I can fix this, but instead just, like, completely rips her dress up the back.
Yeah.
All the way, like, probably to, like, mid-thigh, and it's just, like, a big rip in the back.
Yeah.
Again, scandal.
And I know, and he's like, oh, maybe I should have gone and got your aunt, and it's like, maybe you should have.
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire,
He
so
offers her his trench coat to, like,
Mhm.
which is also, like, mid-calf length. Like,
Yeah.
it covers
The back.
the rip in her dress. And she storms off, and she tells him, like, she's like, all right, I'll return your coat. And he offers to, like, call for it so he can
he
see
was
her.
like, oh, I'd rather I come to you. Can you tell me where you live? And she's like, absolutely not.
Stranger danger.
And so he gives her his address.
So she can mail it.
Yeah, and so she walks away, sort of storms off, and goes to find her aunt.
Yeah. Cut to Egbert and Guy's apartment, hotel room. It has their names on the doorbell.
I'm gonna go with apartment.
Yeah, I guess they live together.
Yeah, love that.
A porter delivers a box to their apartment. Egbert receives it. Egbert's like, wait, who sent this? And the porter's like, I'll tell ya. The lady gave me 3 shillings, not to tell who sent it. This was when I wrote Egbert is not the brightest knife in the toolbox. Or whatever the jumbled saying of that one is.
Yeah.
I just...
Sharpest egg in the attic.
That's it. I also like brightest, like implying like a bioluminescent knife.
Yeah, just that nightlight knife.
Oh, what an ominous nightlight. Just like
Just
a knife.
No, it's definitely
A butcher
Macbeth.
knife?
Just like, here we go. So...
What do you have? A knife. No!
No! I forgot about that video.
You mean the video that encapsulates my whole soul?
Okay, so...
No! That's my homework for our listener. Nothing about this movie, just find that
Just
clip.
that clip. Alright, we'll attach that one. It's so good.
Alright.
So...
The package is for Guy.
The package
It's
is for
the
Guy,
coat.
it's his coat. And so Guy comes out and he's very excited and he's looking through the coat. He's hoping for a note, but there isn't any. And so then Guy is like, oh, I was really hoping that she would leave me a note telling me what her name was, where I could call on her. I wonder if she resents me tearing her skirt. I swear to God.
Egbert has to leave and go into the office, and Guy resolves, he's like, you know what? London's a small city. I'm gonna go look for her.
Right.
But first, we get our first kind of like legit song.
Yeah, so he starts to sing the song Needle in a Haystack. And it's all about how he wants to find her and he knows it's going to be hard, but
It's worth it.
it's worth it. He'll do his best.
For love.
For love. And we get our first, like, real long dance as well. Like, we got a little bit of it in the opening, but
And also, like, this song is the beginning of, like, this is a true musical. This is a song that is, like, characters in her monologue, moves the plot forward,
Yes.
isn't just, like, doesn't just, like, take place in a jazz club. Like, this is a legit musical.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased, because it's been a minute since we've had that. Although, like, High School Musical
No,
had
High School
that. I'm
Musical.
sorry.
It was just one week.
Victor Victoria didn't have it, and they missed it.
Yeah.
At one point in this song and dance, there's a butler character
Yeah.
that is just trying to get Fred Astaire dressed.
Just put on a tie.
This dancing idiot just, like, refuses to do anything but just, like, sing and dance.
Gotta dance.
Felt for this butler. And we get a montage then.
Of him creepily walking around London, just, like, aggressively looking at every woman's face. A policeman comes up to him at one point and is like, move along.
And he just, like, keeps going up to these random blonde women being like, yes, no.
No. And we cut to, he's driving around, sort of looking at passersby and not at the road.
Recklessly not
Reckless
looking at the
driving.
road.
And he runs into the car in front of him. And wouldn't you know it, it's her.
And instead of, like, getting out, apologize, or, like, Mimi is just like, this guy again? Heck no, and drives off. And he chases her
like
in
a
his
creep
car.
into the country. Like, they were in the middle of London, and now they are in the countryside. Oh my god, was this a 45-minute car chase?
And, like, they're going fast in those cars.
Yeah.
Zoom!
Zoom! And
I did not like this.
No, it was very creepy. So she speeds up and loses him, but then he somehow knows where the road is gonna go, and she ends up behind a sign that says road closed.
Yeah, she thinks she loses him.
Yeah.
But he, like, just went another way, and she's like, thinks she got away, but then she's stopped by a road closed sign.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out of nowhere and boxes her in.
Oh my
so
god.
She can't go anywhere.
This was
not
where
acceptable behavior.
I was so angry, and I was just like, how is... I know it's the 30s, but this feels too much.
Oh, yeah, no, I did not like this.
Okay.
Like, let the record show... I did not support this behavior.
No.
And did not... And then he gets out of his car and, like, not accosts her, but, like, keeps talking to her.
It's like, isn't it peaceful here? It's like, what? No.
I've been taken to a secondary location by a stranger.
Oh, no. Not the secondary location. So she asks him to move his car or she's gonna hit it. And he's like, go for it. And so she starts up the car but can't bring herself to do it. She says, I'm too economical. Whatever that means. Hit the car.
She's a Capricorn.
Fair. So he goes to the trunk and pulls out a portable bar and offers to make her
basket.
a drink. Yeah, but it's a picnic basket with nothing but alcohol.
It's not all alcohol.
Yeah.
He offers her a frosted chocolate, which is like chocolate milk.
Is it?
Alright, I'm
it's
looking
still
up right
a bar
now.
cart. Like, there's no food involved.
It's a picnic basket. It's true. It is just liquids.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Frosted
It's a liquid
chocolate.
picnic basket, aka a bar cart.
Frosted chocolate drink, England. I'm looking this up.
England.
That's like England? It's like a chocolate... Get in the comments! I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's non-alcoholic, though. But he does.
Anyway.
He offers her frosted chocolate, Cointreau, Benedictine, marriage, and she's like, what?
I'm sorry. So she asks if he always offers marriage so casually, and he's like, this isn't casual, I've been thinking about you for 2 weeks. Also, her hat is phenomenal in this. Anyway, he's just like, I've been thinking about you for all of this time, this is very serious for me, and I'm like, you talked to her once.
Dummy. You can also totally hear some crew member cough during this scene a couple times.
Yep. So funny.
I will say that, like, when he pulls out the picnic basket, like, she does get a little charmed. She still, like, has good instincts to be like,
don't get out of the
stranger
car.
danger. Yeah. He asks where he can get in touch with her, and she says, you can't. I'm staying with old friends. You're too much for them.
Too much.
Which, like, fair.
Yeah.
He is a lot.
He's excessive.
He gives her his phone number.
Yeah.
She rips it up. He gives it to her, another one to her, and she goes to rip it up again. He's like, I thought you were economical.
So she decides to keep it, and she's like, can I go now, please?
Fair.
Yeah, very fair. So he says that he'll wait for her call, and surprise, surprise, another car comes from the opposite direction of her car and is like, hey, can we get through? And Fred Astaire just goes... Guy just goes and picks up this road closed sign, which apparently is his, and he just keeps in the back of his car? What an insane human!
I think he bought it, like, for this potential car chase. But yeah, he's like,
That's
oh yeah, I bought
creepier!
this.
That's so weird!
Now
Anyway.
that the barrier is gone, she drives away and the picnic basket falls off the car,
That's
just
funny.
crashing.
And he yells after her, I still don't know your name, and weirdly she gives it to him. She must be into him because she's charmed by him, because otherwise there is no need for her to give her name.
Yeah, but she doesn't, like, stop. She just, like, shouts out the window, just like, me!
Cut to Egbert.
Egbert's father's office.
Mhm.
Egbert is in his father's private office,
Yeah.
looking at this, like, dour portrait of his father. And ding dong, it is revealed in the other room, in the waiting room, Hortense and Mimi are in the waiting room.
Mhm.
Hortense says that Egbert is an old friend of hers. He was nearly her third husband. This woman.
I swear to God.
I swear, I didn't even,
So they were almost married, but he went to go
Yeah.
hunt elephants instead of marrying her, which I feel like was just a big excuse. I don't know if he actually went to India to hunt elephants. I think he was just like, can't do it, gonna be out of the country.
But then Hortense has told the secretary her name, and the secretary has gone into Egbert's office and come back out being like, he doesn't recognize that name. And this dummy realizes, oh, Egbert doesn't know me by my latest husband's name. He would know me by my second husband's name. But she can't remember
What her name
second
was.
husband's what her goddamn name was. So she tells the secretary to say peanuts instead. The secretary goes back in. She's like, she said peanuts, and then she was talking about India and elephant hunting, and Egbert's like, what? Oh no! And he tries to get the secretary to be like, no, I'm not here. But Hortense bursts into the room and embraces him. Oh,
so funny.
Dummy.
So she introduces her niece, Mimi, as Mrs. Glossop. So surprise, Mimi is married. But apparently she is unhappily married. And she married one of her teachers, also gross.
Yeah, she's married to a geologist who's
Right.
never there, and he only shows up to ask her for more of her money. So
Right.
Mimi's got money.
Right. And she wants a divorce.
She's asked for it repeatedly, but he refuses to discuss it.
Yes.
And Egbert says it's very difficult in England to get a divorce unless the husband agrees to grant it.
Boo. So they come up with an idea, and Mimi says, you know what, I'll do whatever you say. I'm going to leave you with my aunt. And I wrote down, she's going to eat him alive. And so Mimi's like, you guys make the plans. I'll do whatever you say. Just let me know where to be. She leaves, and Hortense and Egbert agree that Mimi is going to meet Egbert at this hotel, the Bella Vista, tomorrow.
It's like a hotel in the English Channel.
It's like on the
Beautiful,
country,
like-
it's on the beach, seashore, etc. This was one of her lines that I did laugh at, where she was like, divorce makes me so sentimental. Don't you just wish it was ours?
Really quickly before we move on, what Egbert has suggested is flagrant defecto. Like,
I
Hortense
think
thinks
it's
of
in
the name.
flagrante delicto is what the actual
All right, great, because I didn't look it up.
thing is, which is like caught in the act, basically.
Yeah.
I think. I will get notes.
The Latin, I am iffy on. The concept, I understand.
Yes.
Cut to Guy's suite. His butler is on the phone, and Guy rushes in and be like, oh, is it her? Was there a message? And Butler's like, wrong number. Egbert comes in, all in a flutter, saying they have to pack for the seaside at once. And he's so excited to tell Guy that he has a divorce case,
Yes.
and he wants to do it all himself to show his father he's a good lawyer.
And Egbert says to Guy, you know, you should come with us. You're looking a little liverish. And the butler says sassy and is like, it isn't liver, it's love. And then just runs away.
He knows. But Guy's like, I can't leave London. I'm waiting for a call. And Egbert makes some kind of comment about Guy pining, and Guy replies, men don't pine, girls pine, men just suffer. Suffer!
Suffer! So,
I wrote that down just for you.
thank you, I did too. Egbert tells him, you know, it's been 2 weeks. Maybe she's just not that into you. And so,
That should be the subtitle of this movie.
the Gay
Gay
Divorcee,
Divorcee.
maybe she's just not that
Just not
into
that
you.
into you.
And so Guy is like, you know what? Yeah, this is silly. Let's go to the beach. It'll be good for me. And so cut to the beach. And we get the weirdest song.
Alright, we are in the lobby of this hotel, or like, it's not the lobby, but it's kind of just like a main atrium.
Yeah.
There's people sitting at cafe tables. Egbert is sitting reading a
In
newspaper.
Very short shorts.
And a random blonde woman comes up to him. It's Betty Grable.
It is!
And starts to flirt with him, and she sings the song to him, Let's Knock Knees. And at first, Egbert's like, are you talking to me? This is just like the horniest anthem.
It's
and I loved
so
it.
wild. It was very, you know, hot girl summer vibe of just like, let's do it.
Yeah, like, I'm hot, I like you. Egbert kind of gets drawn into it. This
He's
actor
also
cannot
wearing
sing.
Socks and sandals. And
I mean, that
did not-
tracks for that character.
it does
though.
track for that
Like,
character,
I
but
would
I'm just like,
accept nothing
Betty
less.
Grable, why are you into this person?
Yeah, Betty Grable deserved better.
So much better. She's so adorable.
There is some weird dancing in this one.
And the
Lots
gags
of dancing
in this.
and like, yeah.
It's
I didn't even write down the gags.
No, so there's just so the whole the chorus of the song is let's knock knees. which is hard to say, actually, and harder to sing. Basically, the whole thing is, oh, we're into it, let's have sex, basically. And so this whole chorus starts in. So everyone that was sitting at the table starts dancing, and there's all of these bits of, like, hitting each other's knees together, and it, like, hurting or, like, knocking someone over or things like that. So it's all very silly and funny, but doesn't really make sense. Like, who is this girl?
There's also a lot of just, like, dead-eye smiles from these dancers.
Uh-huh. Who just don't quite understand the camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the song ends, Guy comes in to see Egbert dancing poorly, and he kind of laughs at him and whisks him away, and they leave Betty Grable just like, looking
so
sad on the dance floor.
I know.
I'm so mad for Betty Grable.
She deserved better.
We cut to the boardwalk, and Guy and Egbert are just, like, strolling along.
Egbert tells Guy to get over this girl and to stop moping. Egbert goes to, like, get changed or something, and Guy says this line. He says that he knows that he'll see her again, that it's fate, and he says the phrase, chance is a fool's name for fate. And Egbert thinks
like,
that line is the smartest thing he's ever heard in his goddamn life. So he's gonna try and use
that's
it.
Great. Can I steal that? I want to say that in front of for father.
So we cut to a little bit later. Egbert is all dressed fancy and stuff, and he's going to wait for his client, and Guy leaves and goes up to his room. And here we get another waiter just trying to do his job.
Oh, God. You know what? I didn't even write this down because I'm so angry for this waiter.
Oh, man. It's just like a weird bit where, like, the waiter comes up and distracts Egbert, and then Egbert forgets what he wanted to order, and it's just like a back and forth of them guessing what it is that he wants to order. It's actually not funny, but it's just obnoxious. And
it points out that, like, Egbert and Hortense are either, like, perfect for each other,
or
because
like
they both have memories of goldfish, or, like, together they will destroy the planet.
Every garbage can has its lid.
Yeah. Anyway, Mimi arrives, and oh no, Hortense came too! But Egbert takes them to his table, and they kind of lay out the plan. The plan is someone, ideally like a private investigator, will discover Mimi with a man who is not her husband. Gasp!
So they will come upon them in her room in the morning at a time in which no one would just be visiting. Like, that's the only way. So it's not like they will be caught in the act or anything. It's more just like she's caught with a man in her room at a time in which no one should be there.
Mimi says that she doesn't think she can go through with it, but Hortense urges her to, like, think of your husband. I want to take 2 seconds just to explain the concept of this dramaturgically, because there is a name for this conceit that is not Latin. The man that she will be caught with the term is a co-respondent. That's what it would be on, like, the divorce papers. And the definition of a co-respondent, not a correspondent, a co-respondent, at the time, in the 30s, in a petition for divorce on the grounds of adultery, a co-respondent is the person charged with misconduct with the petitioner's spouse.
Oh, cool. I did not know this.
I looked it up because
they said it a lot.
They said it a lot, and I was like, what is this? And it's a thing. Like, that is, like, the legal jargon of what this person would be.
Cool.
And this co-respondent is on his way to the hotel now, but he won't be introduced to Mimi because that'll ruin the whole thing.
Right.
He's going to have a password so she knows who he is. And the password is Egbert's
all together
favorite phrase. Chance is a fool's name for fate.
Ta-da! Also, she will have a pseudonym, Mrs. Green, so that the correspondent does not know her name.
Yes. Hortense gets up to leave with Mimi, and Egbert's like, but you can't go with her. You can't have a clandestine affair with 3 people. And Hortense is like, oh, that's what you think. And the two of them leave.
I laughed a lot. So enter a guy singing in Italian very loudly. Another Aristocats reference, because they also sing that song in there. Maybe that's why I heard that song and then immediately thought Egbert looks like the butler from that movie.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Egbert goes and gets this Italian. Turns out this guy is the co-respondent, and this is his job. He is a professional co-respondent, which is wild, as just like, I want business cards. Like,
his name is Tonetti.
Tonetti.
He is I would petition that he is the goon of this film.
Yeah, I buy that. He's
He's
one
not like a henchman goon,
No.
but he's goonish.
Yeah, we don't have many goons in this one, but he's the closest.
We shockingly don't have any gangsters.
I know. I'm honestly alarmed. Can this be a real musical without gangsters?
If there are no gangsters. They're Soviet spies.
So basically, Egbert is like, I want this to be discreet and subtle. You know, I want to make sure that, you're not going to try anything. And he says the line, "Do not worry. My slogan is, your wife is safe with Tonetti. He prefers spaghetti." And I fell over.
He is so stereotypically Italian.
It's so dumb. Egbert then tries to give Tonetti the password, but of course, English is not his first language, so he does, and it's a complicated phrase.
It is.
And so
he does not translate.
Doesn't quite get it.
Yeah. He just can't get it right. Oh, you know who Tonetti reminds me of? Tonetti gives me big crunk energy.
Yeah, just the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison.
Yeah.
Poison designed specifically for Cusco. But Tonetti goes inside to make a phone call to tell his wife that he arrived safely.
Yes.
Cut to dinner at the resort. Hortense is waiting for Mimi. Mimi comes late, but she's too nervous to eat.
Mimi looks up at sort of the balconies of the rooms that you can see from where she's sitting, and she sees Guy come out and start smoking on a balcony, and she's like, oh, shit. He mustn't see me.
Immediately sees her.
Immediately sees her. He immediately sees her, and she runs off, and of course, he almost leaps over the balcony, but decides against it.
He
goes to find her. So
I was like, good call.
They meet in a beach gazebo.
Yeah, it's like the back of where Let's Knock Knees took place.
So
Mimi asks what he's doing there.
Yeah. And he's like, I waited for your call, and she's like, well, actually I did call you, but I was told that you left London. And so he is thrilled to find out that she actually did reach out to him. He's thought of nothing but her, and she goes to leave, but he asks her to stay, and then he starts to sing the song Night and Day, which is one of the most famous classic Cole Porter songs.
Yeah, it's so clearly a Cole Porter song.
Yes.
We get to see Ginger Rogers dance
and she's
for the first time in this song.
Remarkable. I wish that her dress was just a little bit shorter so I could see her footwork.
I thought the same thing this whole movie.
Because, they have some beautiful waltzing. Obviously their tap dancing is great as well, but there's just, a connection that they have when they waltz, that they just move as one, and which is how you're supposed to waltz, but it was so perfect and so beautiful to see.
After this dance, Mimi admits that she's down here with her aunt, and Guy's like, oh, I'm down here with my aunt too, Aunt Egbert.
And
thinking he just,
realizes...
got away with it. But she's like, hey, wait a second.
Oh, no.
Egbert Fitzgerald, Guy says he's a lawyer friend of his. They're down here on a case. Mimi's like, nope, too much overlap. She gets up to leave, and Guy's like, why are you always running away if we're so perfect for each other? And then he unknowingly
they talk
gives
about
her
destiny,
the password.
And he accidentally gives the code phrase, and so she turns stone-faced. She was like, oh, this is who you are. Got it.
I mean, in Guy's defense, Egbert stole his line.
Oh yeah, no, this is not Guy's fault.
But Mimi is believing that, Guy is the co-respondent. She goes, you? You're the man I've been waiting for? Incredulous.
Well, I love that she asks, oh, you're the man I've been waiting for, and he's just like, yes?
And just, total 180 of her behavior. She's like, I'll be waiting for you in my room, 216 at midnight. And she runs off, and he is so shaken by this. And he has to sit down.
Yeah, he's like, this is too much. So, cut to Mimi's
what
room.
a 180.
Yeah, right? Cut to Mimi's room. It's midnight. Hortense comes in. She's very excited. She's wearing a great dress. She wishes her luck, but Mimi is very nervous. And, she's like, of all the men that it could have been, it's this guy, and I'll give him the worst night of his life.
Guy comes up in the hallway. Hortense comes out and surprises him, and it really weirds him out that Hortense knows what's about to happen and is okay with it.
Right, because from Guy's perspective, he's been invited back to Mimi's room to have sex.
Yeah, and her aunt is there and, knows about it and is cool. Guy doesn't know that Mimi is married.
No.
And Guy, kind of just like tries to make a connection with Hortense. There's like, well, can you tell me something about her? Like, I don't really know that much about Mimi.
Yeah.
And Hortense just like confuses guys more.
I know.
Talking about how
like,
sometimes you just need a clean sweep of your old life. And she calls Guy the broom.
I know, and he's like, so which of us is crazy here? He's just so confused.
Oh, I loved it.
So he enters, and Mimi's in her bedroom. So this is like another like sitting room and then a bedroom situation.
It's like a nice suite.
And she's like, I will be right out. And so he's like very confused and like almost goes to leave, but then he like flips a coin, but he doesn't like that result. So he flips the coin again and gets the right result,
Yeah.
goes and sits down on the couch. And she comes out in a very fancy negligee,
Yeah.
floor length, covers all of the bits.
And they have a great mismatched conversation. Like, it's a good bit of dialogue in
Yeah.
that, like, we, the audience, can see where
Both of
all
them
the
are
misunderstandings
confused.
are. Yeah. But, like, I didn't write any of the dialogue down, but, like, both are proceeding thinking the other one is in on what they are talking about.
Exactly.
And they are not speaking the same language.
Not at all. They're having different conversations. And so, he keeps trying to step towards her, and she's like, absolutely not. You sit there on the couch. I will sit over here on the couch. And he's like, not really sure what's going on.
And Guy is confused because Mimi has been so, like, shy and standoffish before this, but, like, now has invited him back to her room, and Mimi implies that Guy has, like, seen a lot of women in negligees, if this is what he does.
And, he's like,
And
well,
they sit in awkward
a few,
silence.
because, he's a famous dancer. I'm sure he has had relationships before, but she takes that to mean, oh, he's confirming that this is a job that he does.
Yeah, I'm just a job. Oh, God,
Cut to poor Tanetti.
Tanetti is the goon. Tanetti is running around this resort, butchering this password to every woman he meets as he tries to find Mimi.
Oh, it's so funny.
So
this
funny.
poor man. And he just, every single time it's a different one. I didn't write down any of the different variations, but they all have chance, fool, and fate in it, and it's just a butchering of it. It's so silly.
Yeah, it's just like, I am a fool. Chance your fate with me. Just like, cannot get it right. It's different every time. Eventually, and he's like going to like every single woman because he doesn't know what Mimi looks like.
Yeah.
And eventually he says it to Hortense.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, scusi, you are not the lady. And he runs off. And Hortense has the only intelligent moment she has in the entire movie where she realizes, like, oh, if he's here, who's with Mimi?
And so she runs back to the room. So we're back to the room with Guy and Mimi. And Mimi tells him, oh, I knew from the beginning you were a scoundrel with your profession. And he's like, it's not something I'm super proud of, but it brings in money and brings happiness and pleasure to thousands of people. And she's like,
Thousands?
Thousands! And he just used this whole scene.
And then there's a knock on the door, and Guy is like, are you expecting someone? She goes, of course, but not until morning, which further confuses Guy.
He's so confused. And so, turns out Hortense is there. Oh, and Guy has gone to hide on the balcony. So Hortense
he's like, fuck this, I'm going to the balcony.
Go to the
I
balcony.
might jump over.
Yeah. Hortense is there, and it takes a minute, but she actually does remember exactly what happened and tells it to Mimi. It's the only time her memory actually works.
Yeah, because Hortense first comes in being like, wait, why did I come up here? Come
Which,
on.
like, to be fair, that does happen to me, where I will be downstairs doing something, and then I will go up to my room and be like, why did I do this?
It is never with these stakes.
That's fair. So Hortense tells her everything that happened, and now they're just like, well, who is it? Is it this guy? Because he's been saying stuff that sounds like he is the guy that I'm supposed to meet, but like you say that this other guy, I just have to find it out. And Hortense tells her to use her femininity to figure out the truth from Guy.
Essentially, Hortense says, like, all right, pretend that this guy is the guy.
Uh-huh.
Turn on the charm. I'm going to go find Egbert and figure this out. So,
Right.
like, this might be the guy. So, like, don't screw this up.
Right.
But it might not be the guy, and I'm going to go find out. She runs out.
So Mimi goes to the balcony, and she, again, another 180 in terms of temperament, where she's just like weirdly
charm
sweet
up
to
to
him,
1,000.
and
Yeah.
he is immediately suspicious, like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
So she starts questioning him about his work and how he got started, and he says a famous actress started him out, and she's like, oh no, confirmation that he is the guy who's the co-respondent. And he says, yeah, she helped me from my first step, my first dance step. You do know that I'm a dancer, right? And she says she's very glad and then bursts into tears. And he's even more confused.
I'm confused.
Yeah. I think it was just too much.
And she's like, oh, he's a dancer also.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Tonetti is still interrupting women. Now on the dance floor, like, women and men are, like, waltzing around on the dance floor, and he is, like, going up to, like, partnered women being like, scusi, scusi. Egbert comes out, and he realizes, he's like, oh, fuck, I never told you the lady's name.
Or
it's
her
Mrs.
room
Grange.
number.
She's in 216. Remember, make sure she doesn't leave until the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then Egbert realizes he forgot the other half of this
plan.
occasion. He forgot to get private investigators to catch Mimi with Tonetti.
Ridiculous.
So he's gonna rush back to London.
Right.
I guess it's maybe like, I don't know, like a 2-hour train ride or whatever.
Something.
And he's gonna bring them, because it's already like late at night.
Yeah, it's past midnight.
He's gonna bring the detectives back for the morning.
And so Tonetti is like, regardless of whether or not anyone comes, I am still getting paid, which I appreciated.
Yes, I did too.
Egbert, on the way out, runs into Hortense, but of course she can't remember what she wanted to tell him, so she's like, you know what,
She's like, oh, I have something very important to tell you, but I can't remember. I know.
I'll go to London with you, and hopefully it'll come to me while I'm with you.
This woman.
Anyway. Cut to Tonetti entering Mimi's room. He goes and drops off his stuff. Oh, also, some of the stuff that he does, he likes to, like, keep the women entertained while he's there by, like, singing for them and playing the accordion or whatever, concertina
the
or whatever.
concertina.
And so he, like, has this, like, bag of stuff. He's like, I also have
He's
cards.
got, like, a
We can
gear
play
bag.
bridge. And I'm just like, ridiculous.
It's like an adult babysitter.
Basically.
He lets himself into the room. Mimi and Guy don't realize it at first because they're out on the balcony. He, like, puts on his, like, sexy smoking jacket, and Guy sees him first and is like, why is there a man in your room?
Right. He's like, how many men did you invite here tonight? The guy just went into your room. Mimi, are you married? And she's like, oh, and she goes rushing into the room because she's worried maybe it is her husband, but she sees Tonetti and he gives her the butchered version of the password, and she's like, oh, okay, please stay here, and goes back to Guy. Yes. And she tries to distract him, but he's like, no, I want to know who that person is that's in your room. And so she decides to tell him the whole truth. And he realizes that the divorce that Egbert is handling is Mimi's divorce.
Guy realizes that Mimi thought he was her co-respondent. And she's like, well, you said the password. Tonetti comes out, he introduces himself, and Guy's like, you can go, I will stay in his place.
Right.
Tonetti gets so offended, he's like, are you a union man? Implying that there is a union for co-respondents.
Which is so funny. And Guy says, you know, I can't leave you with this strange Italian. I mean, he might be a tenor. And then Tonetti agrees and starts singing. It was all very weird. Mimi says that this is her affair, and so she's going to decide how it goes, so Mr. Tonetti has to stay. And so Guy says, you know what, fine, if he's staying, I'm staying. Then Tonetti goes and talks to his wife, and there's this weird bit.
Beep boop bop logistics. Tonetti gets a call to Mimi's hotel room.
Yeah.
How?
Unclear.
It's from his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, the concierge is in on all of this, or, like,
can you imagine?
Do something right and, like, say, like, oh, any calls forward to 216, but, like, I don't understand how Tonetti's wife got through to this room.
Unclear.
Anyway.
So Tonetti says that everyone has to stay in the room until morning. He's like, do you guys want to play cards? And they're like, no, and so he goes off to play solitaire by himself. Guy and Mimi go out to the balcony, and they hear music from downstairs.
The balcony looks over, like, an outside patio that is a dance floor.
Yes. And so they see people dancing, and it's this really nice song, and thus begins the longest song ever.
It's 17 plus minutes.
That's, 17 minutes of dancing, but there's song before that. So it's like a full 20 to 25 minute sequence of this song.
This is when Mike joined me in this movie, and I was like, oh God.
No.
I was like, this is gonna be weird for you.
Yeah.
But Mimi tells Guys, like, this song is the Continental. Haven't you heard of it? And she sings it to him while they watch the dancers.
He does have one line that I thought was very flirty, where he was like, I really like this song. That's 2 things I want to take home with me from this trip. And I was like, okay, all right. That was an okay line.
That was all right. That kind of worked. They move to like dance inside the apartment, and Tanetti watches them and is just like, "Aw."
And sees he sees
plays
their shadows
solitaire.
dancing on the wall.
Yes,
he doesn't
he's
see them.
waltzing around the other room.
Yeah.
And Guy's like, I want to go down and dance for real on the dance floor. And so Guy gets an idea.
He is going to trick Tanetti, so he cuts out 2 paper dolls and sets them on a record player with a light behind it to make it look like it is 2 people swinging in a circle dancing.
And like, it kind
of works.
I mean, if Tanetti's our goon,
Tanetti's a goon, it works.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. So they succeed, they escape, and they go down to join the dancers, and then like immediately clear the dance floor.
Of course, because they entered and started dancing, and everyone was just like, wow. And so they have their wonderful dance break. It's incredible. Big applause.
Yeah. But as soon as they get a standing ovation, they book it.
Yeah.
But then, surprise, so many ensemble dancers just
many
like
chorus
stream
members.
out of the hotel.
Yes.
Oh,
now,
my God.
It's insane dancing. And by insane, I don't mean like, I mean, it's talented, but it's just like...
It
felt
was weird.
It felt dated. That's it. Which it is. So.
Yeah. When you have such phenomenal dancing from Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, like, the ensemble dancing was, like, mostly acrobatics.
Yeah.
Of, like, a lot of lifts.
There were a lot of, like, jumps and catches over a staircase that made me very nervous.
But we get this dance is 17 minutes long. We have a lot of ensemble.
Yes.
And there's like a little interstitial where Tanetti takes out his concertina onto the balcony and just like is charmed by the dancers.
And sings
not
a chorus.
realizing that Mimi and Guy are down there. I mean, you guys see him and like hide their faces so that they don't get caught. I have a moment of joy coming up.
Oh, you have a moment of joy?
Yeah, which is towards the end of this song, or you know what? I thought it was the end of this song. Song keeps going.
Nope.
There are like 4 revolving doors that lead out onto this patio, and at one point, the revolving doors, they're like divided into 4 like compartments, and at one point there was a dancer girl standing, leaning back against the revolving door, and like the doors were spinning, just like again like a carousel. So fucking weird.
It was so bizarre. It was a carousel of women because there was a woman in each panel or each section, and so as it spun, a new woman came through. It was very weird. But
costume changes,
a lot of different costume changes. There's one shot of that waiter dancing as he brings an order to the table, and I loved it. This was one of my gripes, was the quick cuts that they did during this dance number at the end of just like the footwork back and forth and all of that. It was so fast and abrupt that I actually got a little bit dizzy, which is the first time that's ever happened to me in terms of like, I know some like people have talked about like with shaky cam and stuff like that, they'll get like a little bit nauseous or something. But this is the first time where it's like the speed of the cuts, I was just like, this is too much.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, Guy and Mimi see Tanetti go back into the room, and so they go back out to the dance floor. But Tanetti, once he goes back inside, realizes that something is amiss and that they're no longer in the room.
Well, it's because, like, as the record went on, like, the record just, like, sped up.
Yeah.
So the shadow figure dancers are just going way too fast. And he realizes he's been bamboozled. He goes out onto the balcony and he sees them down on the dance floor. And they dance and they escape back into the hotel.
Yes.
17 minutes long.
Oh my god, it's so long. Cut back to the room. Tanetti is asleep on the couch, Guy is asleep on a chair. It's morning, and they wake up.
Gasp! A knock at the door! But it's just the waiter coming to ask about breakfast, because Mimi has ordered breakfast for the 3 of them. And Tanetti tells them that, like, when the detectives arrive, we all have to be really careful, and we should have a plan. And just then, there's another knock on the door, so Guy, like, dives out of sight, but it's just the waiter with coffee.
Tanetti then asks about Mimi's husband, and she mentions that he's a famous geologist, and the waiter talks about how, oh, that's really cool. I met this geologist, this Professor Brown once, who was traveling with his wife, and he told me all about this stuff.
The waiter is like a big rock nerd.
And
got to, like, talk on many occasions with this famous geologist who he met.
I wonder who this famous geologist is. Anyway.
You know what's funny? I didn't write down that whole conversation because I was like, what is the fucking point of this?
Really?
And then I realized, yeah. Just then, Egbert and Hortense rush in and find Tanetti, Mimi, and Guy. And surprise, Egbert didn't bring detectives. He brought Mimi's husband.
Yeah.
And Tanetti's like, no, I get detectives. It's in my contract. I've never had to deal with a husband before.
Which
Tanetti is not happy.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Oh, also in the middle of this, Egbert is shocked to see Guy there because Hortense has completely forgotten to tell him about Guy. And Guy was like, no, this is Mimi. This is the girl that I've been telling you about. So
Guy hides, learning that the husband is here.
Mhm.
Just then, another knock on the door, but it's just the fucking waiter. So they're like, you know what? You go in the room with Guy.
Yes.
You need to stop coming in.
And so Tanetti and Mimi try and get into, like, an amorous position, but they're very uncomfortable and, like, shoulders hunched.
Yeah.
It's all very silly.
Just then, the husband comes in. Cyril Glossop. Awful name. And
Awful
Tanetti just
name.
does
Awful
not
person.
know what to say.
At all.
And Cyril immediately calls their bluff. He was like, this guy is so obviously a co-respondent. Do you think I'm an idiot?
Yeah. So Mimi then calls for Guy and asks him to kiss her, and it's a very tepid kiss. I would not believe this kiss either if I was Cyril.
I mean, it's their first kiss.
Yeah,
And under what awful circumstances?
truly. But she reveals that after the divorce, she is going to marry Guy. But the husband says, no, I'm refusing this divorce because I will forgive you because she is his money. So Guy goes to throw the husband out, but the waiter comes in and says, oh, I have work to do. Can I please leave?
But then he recognizes Cyril. He's like, oh, Professor Brown! Cool to see you here again. And Cyril's like, what? This waiter doesn't know what he's talking about. And the waiter's like, yes, you do. You, me, and your wife talked about rocks a lot. Don't you remember? And Mimi's like, hey, would you recognize his wife? He goes, yeah, of course, she was French. And Mimi's like, am I the wife? And the waiter's like, no.
And
So
so
it turns out,
Cyril sort of blusters and then runs out. And
Cyril's been cheating.
Cyril's been cheating. Egbert and Hortense come in and they say, oh, the plan worked and Mimi and I are going to get married. And Hortense reveals that her and Egbert were also married the night before.
Yeah, on their way back from London. She
Sure.
had just forgotten until this moment.
Yeah.
And everyone congratulates each other, yada yada yada. And there's a final dance of Mimi and Guy around the hotel room with like child bellhops.
Yeah.
And they waltz out the door on with their new life.
The end.
So you didn't like this movie?
It was fine. And I think I liked the second half better than the first half. I found that all of the beginning that maybe should have been much more flirty was so one-sided. I didn't get any flirtiness from her that it just felt like this guy could not leave this woman alone who did not want him around. Because
Yeah,
I
that's very
didn't get
fair.
any flirtiness from her. I think maybe if she had shown a bit more interest in the beginning but then stopped herself because she's still married or something like that, or that had been a little bit more integrated into the plot, I would have been more okay with his over-the-top extreme measures to
Relentless.
find her. But because there wasn't any of that, because it just felt like she's like, no, in the train station, it's like, no, can you just go help me, go get my aunt, she can unlock this, and then he didn't, and then ruined things, and then he chased her in a car for 45 minutes, it didn't feel like a romance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Though I will say, after their dance of Night and Day, I did get the vibe that she was into him.
Yeah. Shall we do a little dramaturgy?
Yes.
Dramaturgy report.
Down.
Dramaturgy report. This was directed by Mark Sandrich, an American film director, writer, and producer. He started in shorts, worked his way up to features. Before The Gay Divorcee, he directed Top Hat, which also starred, I was a Ginger Astaire, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
They were never a couple.
And I know, and they worked, the three of them worked together again on Follow the Fleet, Shall We Dance, and Carefree. Sandrich moved to Paramount with the offer to direct and produce. He did many films, most famously Holiday Inn, starring Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby. In 1945, he was in pre-production for a follow-up to Holiday Inn called Blue Skies, which starred Bing Crosby and was going to feature Irving Berlin's music. At the same time, he was president of the Directors Guild. And he said he could complete all his assignments, but he was really under a lot of pressure, and he died suddenly of a heart attack at age 44.
Oh no.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
This cinematographer He was a Russian-American cinematographer. He started as a portrait photographer before entering the film industry. He frequently worked with Sandrich and was responsible for the photography of 5 Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers musicals.
This movie was based off of the Cole Porter musical, The Gay Divorce. That was also Fred Astaire's last Broadway show that he did before he moved to Hollywood, and it's the only stage musical that he did without his sister Adele, who was his dance partner for many, many years. Now, the stage production opened on November 29th in 1932 at the Ethel Barrymore Theatre and ran for 248 performances. Now, the only main plot difference between the stage musical, and this movie was that in the musical, Guy is a writer of bodice rippers, which is why he's embarrassed about his career, and they sort of talk around that in that scene where Mimi thinks that he's the co-respondent.
I love that.
I know. Well, that whole scene where he was just like, "Oh, I know your sordid career," and he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm not super proud of it, but it pays the bills." And it makes a lot more sense with the concept that he's just a writer for bodice rippers.
That's so funny.
The writer of the original musical was Dwight Taylor, and I don't have much for him except for the fact that he was a founding member of the Writers Guild of America.
Oh.
For the screenplay, you'll notice that the title changed from The Gay Divorce to The Gay Divorcee, and this was because of objections from the censor. They said that a divorcee might possibly be gay, but the concept and the institution of divorce itself could never be. This script was written by George Marion Jr. and Dorothy Yost. Dorothy Yost was a prominent screenwriter whose career lasted from the silent era into the sound era. She worked on more than 94 films, including her own screenplays. In her writing, she included a focus on representation of ethnic and racial minorities as well as regional settings, and her films taught lessons for life and often highlighted moral principles. Now, George Marion Jr., this is one of my fun facts, he wrote for 106 films between 1920 and 1940.
Whoa!
And he was nominated at the first Academy Awards in the category of Best Title Writing, which was the only year it was presented. In addition, in 1929, George Marion and his wife were involved in the trial of an income tax advisor. Both of them were witnesses in the trial of J. Marjorie Berger in U.S. District Court. Marion testified that he signed his tax return without having read it, and his wife testified that at Berger's suggestion, she created 2 cash books that contained some fictitious entries and some true entries. So it was a big ol' scandal. I know! So, those were the writers.
That's wild!
So for music and lyrics, the original musical was all Cole Porter, but the only song that they retained from the original show, Gay Divorce, was Night and Day. And we've already discussed Cole Porter back in Kiss Me Kate, so I'm going to talk about the other writers. So we had 2 different writing groups that worked on 2 different of the other songs. So Mac Gordon and Harry Revel, they did Don't Let It Bother You, which was the opening number of the girls with the little puppet fingers.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Let's Canuck Knees. Mac Gordon appeared in vaudeville as an actor and singer in the late 20s and early 30s, but he ended up forming a partnership with Harry Revel that lasted all the way through the 30s. His catalog includes more than 120 songs sung by some of the world's most famous and talented performers like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., Etta James, Glenn Miller, Barbra Streisand, Christina Aguilera, and a lot more. He is most well known for writing the song At Last. Yeah. Harry Revel, his writing partner, moved to New York City to become a professional songwriter, and he worked on a lot of Broadway shows, Ziegfeld Follies of 1931. They moved to Hollywood together in 1932 and signed up as a team with Paramount Pictures. One fun fact about him, Revel remained a British citizen, and on 2 occasions he and his brother Billy were found guilty of entering the United States with false passports. So, the other 2 writing couple was Herb Magidson and Con Conrad.
Wow, what names!
I know. So they wrote Needle in a Haystack and The Continental. Erb moved to Los Angeles in 1929 and got a contract with the Warner Bros. To write music for films. Conrad focused on the stage and wrote for a lot of Broadway shows. He moved to Hollywood after losing all of his money on unsuccessful Broadway shows. And that's where he started making his money, was in Broadway. So for actors and casting, I'm going to focus exclusively on Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers since this is our first movie with them. This was the second of 10 dancing partnerships of the two of them. So for Fred Astaire, his stage and film and TV career spanned a total of 76 years. He starred in more than 10 Broadway musicals, made 31 films, 4 television specials, and a lot of recordings. His outstanding traits as a dancer were an uncanny sense of rhythm, perfectionism, and innovation, and his most memorable dancing partnership was with Ginger Rogers. But at first, he wasn't really keen to be connected in another dance team. He had already been linked with his sister Adele, and he was reluctant to form another group like that. He wrote to his agent, "I don't mind making another picture with her, but as for this team idea, it's out." However, he was persuaded by the public appeal of their partnership, and he ended up working with her and the choreographer, Hermes Pan, which we had before in Kiss Me Kate. Their partnership elevated them both to stardom. So for Ginger Rogers, after winning a 1925 Charleston Dance Contest, it launched a successful vaudeville career, and she gained recognition as a Broadway actress. This led to a contract with Paramount Pictures. In the 1930s, she did films with Fred Astaire that are credited with revolutionizing the genre. However, after 2 commercial failures, she turned her focus to dramatic and comedy films, and her acting was well received, and in 1941, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Kitty Foyle. After winning her Oscar, she was one of the biggest box office draws and highly paid actresses of the 1940s. And so just a little bit about their partnership. Although the dance routines were choreographed by Astaire and his collaborator, Hermes Pan, both have testified to her consummate professionalism, even during periods of intense strain, as she tried to juggle all of her contracts and commitments. So, Astaire, he had punishing rehearsal schedules, and in 1986, shortly before his death, he remarked, "Of all the girls I ever danced with, they thought they couldn't do it, but of course they could. But they always ended up crying, except for Ginger. Ginger never cried." John Moeller summed up Rogers' abilities as, "Rogers was outstanding among Astaire's partners, not because she was superior to others as a dancer, but because, as a skilled, intuitive actress, she was cagey enough to realize that acting did not stop when dancing began. The reason so many women have fantasized about dancing with Fred Astaire is because Ginger Rogers conveyed the impression that dancing with him is the most thrilling experience imaginable." I love Ginger Rogers.
I love that.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anna.
Reception. This film got good critical response. It has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Awards. It was nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Picture, but it only won for the Continental, which it won for Best Song, and this was the first winner of this award. This was the first year that they had that category, and the Continental won. All right, and that's was it for that. I guess, you know what? I think I enjoyed it. Having watched, Showboat is its own movie. I think the cinematography, and granted, like, they're from different years.
Yeah.
The cinematography of The Gay Divorcee felt more professional and just, like, higher quality, and the literal film has held up better.
Yeah, I buy that.
Some parts of Showboat felt really campy with, like, the rowing across the river to get to the
Yeah.
and which, like, Showboat was, like, a feat for its time. It wasn't so stylized, like some of the singing was in Showboat.
That's fair.
That I found it more palatable. Like, I wasn't
makes sense.
annoyed by anyone's singing voice.
That's fair, yeah.
Speaking of singing, we do have some singing in this movie, and it's fine.
Yeah, nothing to really write home about, either good or bad. It was just good singing. Honestly, it's Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, so the standout's gonna be dance.
Like, it's better singing than fucking Babes in Toyland.
That is accurate.
Yeah, it's much more palatable to listen to than Babes in Toyland. As for dancing, like, where do you fucking begin? It's a Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire.
It was remarkable.
It's phenomenal.
And my homework is going to be to watch the night and day dance scene.
Yeah, don't watch the Continental. It's 17 minutes long.
And it's unnecessary, and only a bit of it is them. The rest of it's all chorus. The true standout for me was night and day.
Do you have gripes?
I would say that they built in pauses for laughter, which I didn't really like.
Oh.
I found that there were moments where they said a line that I think would have gotten a laugh in a theater when you're surrounded by people and you're like willing to laugh out loud. But since I was just sort of watching it in my room, it just felt like there was an unnecessary pause after a joke. And so it sort of like felt a little bit stutter-steppy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks. I think I just personally found Hortense more annoying than funny.
That's fair. Do you have a moment of joy?
I mean, my moment of joy was the revolving door girls. I'll say my moment of joy is just like the bumbling waiters.
Yeah. I said the waiter's entire arc again.
Yeah.
2 movies in a row now.
And then I have one fun fact of trivia, which is that Betty Grable was our young singer in Let's Knock Knees.
Mm-hmm.
Betty Grable was one of the original Goldwyn girls.
Oh.
Remember them? From Guys and Dolls? The Gay Divorcee was one of her earlier big roles.
Yeah.
And then she went on to have a phenomenal career and is famous for many, many things.
Yeah. My fun fact is, Fred Astaire's legs were insured for a sum in excess of $300,000.
Did you do math? How much is that today?
It's like $5 million.
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. His legs. Fuck his arms.
He needs his arms. He uses his arms a lot.
He does. Full body dancer.
But the legs were key.
The legs. Yeah, so the homework is to watch Night and Day, and then we're also going to find that video of Anna's internal monologue of all times.
Yes. I'll find that. And yeah, this was Gay Divorcee from 1934. Dear listener, Intrepid Heroes, thank you so much for going on this journey with us.
Indeed.
I enjoyed this episode immensely.
I enjoyed talking about it.
We are available everywhere podcasts are found. Our social media handles are 5678, a movie musical podcast. We're talking Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us there to get some teasers of upcoming episodes and some fun dramaturgical facts about current episodes.
Indeed, and you can always email us at 5678, a movie musical podcast @gmail.com.
And that's all she wrote for this week.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no